I haven't drawn in a good while. And the reason for that, there are a few reasons actually, there are a lot of reasons, but I've been doing it every day, posting on TikTok, doing it every day. And you start to get into a rhythm and a groove. And posting on TikTok daily is the only way to really grow on that platform. So if you're not posting daily and keeping up with the grind, you're not seeing growth. That's just not the case. Yeah, I was doing it daily, just putting out drawings for everybody, drawings. And TikTok just cut my monetization, just like that, just for no reason, no good reason, they just cut it. And that cut and TikTok monetization was a blessing and a curse. You may be wondering, like, how could that possibly be a blessing? Well, I'm gonna start with why it's a curse. Obviously, I don't get money. I don't get money for posting the art. So yeah, that's the curse, obviously. And I just lost a lot of motivation. But for the pros is that cutoff, it stopped the daily posting, and it stopped me having to force myself to be creative and draw when sometimes I didn't really want to, on days that I didn't really want to draw. I woke up, I was like, dang, I gotta put a drawing out for TikTok. It wasn't for me, it was for TikTok. Drawing used to be for me and showing people close to me. Like, I finish a drawing and I'm like, yo mom, look at this drawing I made. Let me pull up an actual drawing. And be like, yo mom, yo dad, look at this Batman drawing I did. It's something small. I usually like to put a lot of perfection into my drawings. Like, I would pour hours into every drawing. No, not even hours. I would like to pour days into my drawings. And with these, it's like, you only get so much that you could do in a day when you're doing it daily. You kind of need to allocate your time, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's just becoming a lot. I just want to, be creative. And TikTok kind of takes that away when you do the daily posting. I wanted to get some sort of video out because I feel like if I don't, I would just be stuck in my own head all the time, just trying to perfect it, just perfect it. And I can't be like that. You cannot be like that with things, especially art, because once you do that, you're just trapping yourself into a box. It's like, okay, I'm gonna do it this way, and if I don't get it done this way, I'm gonna be sad, or I'm gonna be mad, or whatever. And my creative process, I see the final product first, and then I try to match it. But I realize you cannot do this with everything. For drawings, yes, you can do that. But for video stuff, it won't work out the same way, because you'll end up pouring a lot of hours into editing or whatever else just for it to not do how you wanted it to, and then you stop. As for posting on here, all I've been thinking about most of the summer is posting on here. But the fact that I don't really draw like that as much, not to say I don't like art or I don't love art, I absolutely still do love art. It's just like, when you've been out of drawing, because I haven't drawn in like over 50 days. Over 50 days, that's almost 2 months. I haven't drawn in almost 2 months. And I haven't really drawn anything I've put days into since like December of last year. So that's why it's just kind of difficult to get back into the groove of things, Once I do get back into the groove of things, absolutely, it'll be like cake work to get these videos out. But for now, it's just gonna take a lot of mental exercise. It's like going to the gym every day, lifting up the weights. You build the muscle. Right now, I feel like I'm in the phase where I put the weight down. And it's like, okay, dude, we need to get this weight back up. Like, we need to get the muscle back. And right now, I'm in the most difficult stage of having the weight, you know, just trying to get my muscle back, you know. I lost my muscle, so I need to get back into that groove. I'm just gonna try to take the perfectionism out of it, because if I keep the perfectionism, it's just never, it's not gonna happen. The stuff will never come out as I want it to. Art is a process. And for this video, I was envisioning, like, you know, I would be like, guys, I haven't drawn in so long, but here's my process. Here's how I do things. I was gonna give like a list of artists that inspire me, like the One Punch Man artists and the Death Note artists. And I was just gonna go through the process of, like, you know, trying to do everything I used to, like use perspective in my drawings, use coloring, shading, you know, all that sort of stuff. And I was just like, man, all that is gonna, the way I want to do it, all that is gonna take so long. Not saying I have to throw that idea away. It's just like, I have to just get it out there, because if I still try to go for the final product of what I'm envisioning in my head right now, the video is just not gonna come out. Like, it's just not gonna come out. So I just gotta do it. No better way to say it besides, I just gotta do it. For the few people where it's like, dude, where are your posts? Where are your posts? Because on TikTok, it's like everything's kind of automated. So it's like when somebody actually kind of reaches out to you and chats to you in your DM, and it's like, dude, we miss you. Like, where's the art? When somebody actually does that, it's kind of like, whoa, people, actual human beings actually watch my stuff. It's so easy to get into that numbers are just robots thing. It's so easy to get into that, especially seeing as how bad TikTok support is. It's like, when I got my monetization removed for whatever reason, I tried to reach out. I was like, why is this happening? And they were just doubling down, tripling down on something that didn't make sense. It was titled like security ban, just a vague security ban. And the reason I know it's not specifically a legitimate thing targeted at me is because a lot of creators were hit with this same vague security ban thing just to not pay them. That month when I got my TikTok monetization removed, that is when I had my biggest video, one of my biggest videos ever. I did a Slade drawing. Actually, I think I have it in here. I drew this and it absolutely blew up. Like, it got, I think, 1 million views on TikTok, which would have been a lot of money. And I feel like TikTok just wasn't trying to pay me, so they were just like, no, yeah, just take him off the monetization. We don't want to pay him. Messed up. But once you try to contact certain people and reach out and nothing happens, you try to just give up. You kind of just give up. And that is also what was eating at me artistically as well. It's just kind of like, how can you put out all this art, all this passion, you know, into your stuff, and it's like TikTok could just let you go like that? And as for art, I absolutely love art still to this day. I'll probably never stop loving art. Like I said, the thought process of envisioning the final product and trying to get it as close to what you're seeing in your head is so satisfying when you get it down right. Nothing compares. Like, I try so many different things, whether it be sports or whatever. I try those things, and it's like nothing compares to the feeling you get when you see a drawing in your head. You know, you just randomly get some inspiration from something. You're like, ooh, that would look cool with this perspective and this character doing this with this background. You see it in your head and you execute it the way you want to, perfectly on paper. It's just the best feeling. Nothing compares to it. And in my opinion, nothing compares to it. It's just so fun. My mission is to draw how I used to draw before I started making these 1-minute TikTok drawings. I mean, don't get me wrong, the quality is still pretty good for the time I had, but I would like to get back to pouring days, maybe even a week into a drawing, and just, you know, knowing that I poured that much time into accomplishing something. I had a final product I had in my head, just accomplishing a final product I had in my head and seeing it in paper, being able to be like, yeah, I made this. Like, I made that. So yeah, that's my main goal. My main goal is to pour days into a drawing and be able to say I put everything that I could into making it as similar to my envisioned final product as I could. I forgot what the outros were for these videos. I'll probably get back into that groove. You know, I'll rewatch the old stuff. However cringy it is, I'll rewatch the old stuff and I'll get back into the groove. But yeah, for now, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. I don't know why you watch this whole thing, but yeah, it's really just a thing about artistic motivation, maybe kind of art block, and just my process and getting the things that you have in your head done. At the end of the day, if you have something you've been envisioning in your head for months and months and months, like I have had this channel and this video, if you have something in your head that you've been envisioning for months, maybe even years, just do it. Cut the perfectionism stuff out of it and just do you. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. And hopefully it pays off. Maybe it'll pay off with this video. We'll see. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching.